Art collecting for cyclists. What kind of pretentious video title is that? Well, buying a cycling jersey could be the closest you'll ever get to becoming an art collector. How do I know? I'm a simple style cyclist who also happen to hold a fine art master's degree. So get ready for some well-curated arty content. 5 cycling jerseys that took inspiration from the contemporary art scene. Some of these jerseys are tributes, some are collaborations, and some might be one curator away from legal trouble. Let's roll! The legendary Vie Claire jersey was created by Santini for a team who wanted to look like they came from the future. Ridden by Hinault, Zetmon, this kit is what happens when peak modernism enters the Peloton. It's directly inspired by the Dutch Bauhaus artist Piet Mondrian. Black grid lines, primary colors and strict geometry. On a gallery wall, it's disciplined abstraction. In a pack of insecure riders, it's visual warfare. It doesn't blend in. It doesn't apologize. It looks like someone turned a museum into a breakaway. This isn't just kit, it's Bauhaus with cadence, made by a chain-smoking genius. Then there's Rocka Corba. Their paint-splattered design look like they were made by a delirious art student 5 minutes before a private view, and somehow still sold out. It's giving Cy Twombly, the American artist, famous for scribbled, gestural canvases that look accidental but absolutely aren't. If you've seen these canvases live, you know they are monumental and absolutely stunning. But now they're available in a size that fits you. In 1987, when Peugeot team rebranded, Santini Cycling Wear produced the iconic Zetmon jersey. Bright, graphic, loud. It feels spiritually aligned with the American pop artist Roy Lichtenstein. Bold color blocks, comic book confidence and full-on bang. Later associated with Greg LeMond, this jersey doesn't whisper heritage, it shouts it. If Mondrian is intellectual restraint, this is pop art on a sugar rush. Now we cross into street art, designs reminiscent of Keith Haring. Bold outlines, dancing figures, rhythmic repetition have shown up in modern cycling kits from brands like Attacker. And cycling's connection to contemporary art isn't accidental. Haring famously collaborated with Cinelli, including work tied to the legendary Cinelli laser. Former Cinelli owner Antonio Colombo even had a gigantic Haring painting in his office. But back to the Aussies. When graphic, high-contrast street art aesthetics hit Lycra, it feels right. Dynamic, urban, slightly rebellious and fun. Like you might sprint for town signs purely for conceptual reasons. Finishing off with a real banger, we've got the Ale Rainbow jersey. Flowing bands of color that look remarkably close to the edge paintings of the American painter Morris Louis. His technique involved pouring heavily thinned paint onto unprimed canvas, letting gravity create soft, vertical veils of color that bleed into one another. The jersey echoes that beautifully. Yeah, it's as good as art theft can get. I couldn't get hold of this jersey last year, but 2 weeks ago I accidentally ran into it. On canvas, it's meditative abstraction. On a mountain climb, you're basically a moving color field installation. You become art on wheels. I hope this art tour has been somewhat inspirational. Cycling jerseys have surely become one of the most expressive canvases in sport. Now show off your Mondrian, Haring or Lewis. Or you could still wear that safe all-black stuff. But in my eyes, an all-black cycling kit has the same emotional range as the Malevich black square painting. Possibly expensive, but deeply committed to boredom. If you're going to suffer for 3 hours on a Sunday ride, you might as well look like a moving art collection while doing it. You could spend 4 million euros on a contemporary masterpiece, or you could spend 140 euros on a zip-up polyester interpretation of one. So, you style cyclist, keep collecting art, just make it aero.